Hetepu, Namaste. This is Offset Segment, your esoteric numerologist. Now this video is about numerology and relationships. And it's fitting that I talk about relationships because this is the month of love. And in 10 more days, we're going to have Valentine's Day. And so I wanted to share the science of numerology so that you can understand your relationships. Now there are 3 types of relationships that you probably hear about most, which are karmic relationships, your soulmates, and also your twin flames. Now, when we talk about the word karma, it is an East Indian term that means action or deed, and it deals with cause and effect. And so, when we think about karmic relationships, we're not thinking on the highest level of elevation when we're talking about these particular relationships. What's interesting is that this is the relationship that talks about opposites attract. It also deals with fatal attraction. And I'm going to give you a simple rule of thumb in understanding the science of relationships using numerology. If you have even numbers, all even numbers go together, and they're going to be feminine. If you have all odd numbers tend to get along extremely well. They're going to be masculine. There are some exceptions to the rules. Now, your 2 and your 6 are your partnership numbers. But they can go with one odd number, and that one odd number would be number 3. Number 3 is the number of the Trinity, and it deals with creative communication, expansion, abundance, and fertility, but it's a very gregarious number. So it goes right together with the relationships of 2, which is your feminine, intuitive, sensitive number, and your mother number, which is number 6, dealing with relationships and families and birth. So it goes right in there. But now, let's say to understand this karmic relationship, you have a person who is a number 1 by their destiny number, and the other person is a number 8 by their destiny number. I'm showing you right here as an example that the 1 is a very alpha number. It's dealing with leadership and authority, and so is the 8. The 8 is more materialistic, but it's just as extroverted and alpha as the 1. And so you have these 2 people who are attracted by the confidence that they see in one another, and things go extremely wrong because these are 2 strong numbers that on the flip side can be very destructive together. So your karmic relationships can deal with dysfunction, they can deal with domestic violence, and these are relationships in which they are supposed to be learning their karmic lessons. They're not aware that they have karmic lessons to learn. And so they tend to destroy each other. They probably share those same karmic lessons. Let's say those karmic lessons are 8, which means that they have issues with authority. And when you're dealing with the lessons, you're dealing with the flip side of that energy. And let's say they also have a karmic lesson. Okay, karmic lesson 8 is also someone who is not good with handling their money well. These people, they love to spend all the time, and they constantly find themselves in debt. So this is an example of a karmic relationship. Now, if you grow up more, you become more spiritually empowered, you will probably find your soulmate. Many of us are in soulmate relationships, and the soulmate relationships are basically numbers that are alike at your core. Let's say someone has a 7 in their soul number. A 7 is a person who is spiritual in a non-religious way. They are deeply involved in investigating the myths, the magical things of life, even the scientific. And so you have someone on the soul who is also a 9, and these people are very humanitarian. They also are very spiritual. So you have 2 very spiritual numbers, and they're joined together. And these are your soulmates. They feel each other at the soul. And so a lot of times they think alike. They're together for a certain period of time. It's not a together forever thing. And so, but these relationships are a lot smoother than the ones that are in your karmic relationships, so you have elevated yourself there. Soulmates can be dealing with your siblings, that you're a lot alike, part of a soul family because you guys think and share a lot alike. You can also have friends that are soulmates. You can have many soulmates that are of the opposite sex or the same sex, or just part of a spiritual family that you have. And so now I'm going to move on to twin flames. Twin flames, this is something that YouTube is just full of, having us to understand what is a twin flame relationship. Well, a twin flame relationship are two people who are to come together at a certain period in their lives in order to elevate humanity. They are here specifically to serve humanity, but they have to go on a journey. And that journey has to do with developing them to become as whole as possible, as 360 as possible, to understand their divinity. And so oftentimes they will travel through these karmic or soulmate relationships. And it might be later in life until they finally find their twin flame. And a twin flame relationship is unlike any other. Where the soulmate, you can feel each other here, you're telepathic, you think a lot alike. With the twin flame, it's an irrepressible desire that you feel. It is something that you share beyond this world, maybe many lifetimes that you've had together. It's something even unspeakable. It's at the cellular level where you can feel each other. And so it's a chemical reaction that is excited within the body of the remembering of being together, of being woven together, cut from the same cloth. This is your twin flame that ignites that kundalini fire, that violet flame that joins together at the crown chakra. This is a twin flame. And so they are joined together by master numbers. I forgot to share that, but they're special. They are the cream of the crop. So their master numbers will either be 11, 22, or 33. Now we've added 44, but we'll stick with the 33. Master number vibrations are double numbers that have exceptional power and energy. So my goodness, when you put these two together, you've got kaboom! You've got an explosion of deep proportions on the planet of people who are here to serve humanity in a very awesome capacity. These people are very special. They're very gifted. They're very psychic. And so their coming together most likely won't happen when they're very young. It might be maybe late 30s, 40s, 50s before they find each other. So, because they have to grow and learn on their path of who they are. Now, to give an example of two twin flames, let's say we have number 22 who, let's see, is joined by the destiny number of someone who is a 33. Okay, knockout right there. That's a knockout, because now you've got 22 as a master builder in form. You've got the other person who is a 33, which is the number of a Christ or an avatar. Okay, these people, by their destiny, they are here to leave a legacy for humanity. And it could be dealing with a specific institution or an organization. These people are kinetically drawn. There is something about when they first meet that they know that they've had past lives together. They just know that they are to be together. And so I'm just giving you an example of how this works. Now, someone connected at the soul level, let's say you have someone who is number 11 at their soul, and you have another person, they're connected in this relationship, that is an 11 at the soul. These people are both psychic. They feel each other at long distances away. They feel each other. They can able project their thoughts. They're very telepathic. They can hear each other talking in their minds. They are probably distance healers. These people are your feelers, and they feel very, very deeply. And so to understand their purpose of how they heal humanity is that they come across very esoterically and metaphysically. They deal with things on a deep spiritual level, and they bring these treasures up from their souls, from the libraries of their minds, and they present these gifts to humanity. So another one too is dealing with those who are twin flames by their soul contracts, which means both of their life path and their destiny numbers have been blended together to give the soul contract. And let's say both of those numbers are 33s. Okay, my God. These people will probably meet maybe in their 40s or even in their 50s for a destiny that deals with exposing religion as a control mechanism for humanity. These people will be iconoclastic, and they will probably be sought out by the powers that be to get them to be quiet, because the things that they have to share about owning your own divinity will be a little too deep than what your preacher or your priest will have to tell you. So just giving you an idea of what the enormity of twin flames are here to do. So I hope that clears up a lot of information about karmic relationships, about what and who soulmates are, and really help you to understand the awesome responsibility of twin flames. I invite you to consult with me if you are in a relationship, whether you're married or whether you have found someone that you consider worthy of your time. So contact me at spiritwisdomnumerology.com or offsetsekmet@gmail.com. I look forward to servicing you and helping you to understand the dynamics of your relationship. Hetepu. Namaste.